Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things I've learned as I've grown into the person that I am today. And I am literally back-to-back recording these so that my husband can make his dinner. I am pre-filming this video for tomorrow, for Thanksgiving, so that you guys will have something to watch tomorrow. So if you live in the United States, happy Thanksgiving. If you're not in the United States, then I hope you're having the most amazing Thursday ever. Let's get into some meditation books, shall we? All right, so yesterday I read from well, 5 minutes ago, I read from The Language of Letting Go. And I think I looked down and it was something about self-criticism, and I thought, oh, that would be a good one. Let's read from that. I love discussing self-criticism because that's one of the hardest things for me. If I'm wrong, then, letting go of self-criticism. November 26th. Look how far we've come. It's good to focus on the task ahead, on what remains to be done. It's important to stop and feel pleased about what we've accomplished, too. Yes, it may seem that the change has been slow. At times, change is grueling. Yes, we've taken steps backward, but we're right where we're supposed to be. We're right where we need to be, and we have come so far. Sometimes by leaps, sometimes with tiny steps, sometimes kicking and screaming all the while, sometimes with sleeves rolled up and white knuckles, we've learned, grown, changed. Look how far we've come. Today I will appreciate my progress. I will let myself feel good about what has been accomplished. This is so fantastic. I have to tell you, she doesn't watch this channel, so she'll never know that I said this, but my book club partner, Mel, who is one of my dearest friends in life, I absolutely adore her. She's been working so hard lately on changing like her food and the diet and the things that she's eating, and she just sent me 2 pictures, and one was from like a while ago, and one is her most recent picture, and I was like, oh my God, you've lost so much weight, congratulations, and she said, I am so proud of myself, and she said, and all of this is just from changing food, you know, and I love when people make changes about themselves and they're proud of it and they shout it from the mountaintops. You should be proud of whatever, you know, your success is. I think sometimes we're like too shy. You know, in the video that I just talked about, in my video yesterday, the treatment facility that I worked in, my old counselor, that was my counselor when I got sober, because I worked in the same treatment facility that I went through the last time. She worked there, and I was like, she worked there for like probably like my first 10 years that I was there. And then she went somewhere else, and she's still a very dear friend of mine. And I say this all the time, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be on this earth right now. And I literally mean that. If it wasn't for my sponsor, or not my sponsor, well, my sponsor too, but if it wasn't for my counselor that I had that wouldn't let me get away with anything, I wouldn't be here right now. I mean, she fundamentally changed my thinking about things. And, you know, I remember wanting to get my hair cut on New Year's Eve to go to the New Year's Eve dance. I wanted to have my hairstylist come in, and she said, no, princess, that's not going to happen. And since you think you're so special that you deserve special treatment, you're going to stay back from the New Year's dance tonight, which ended up leading me going to this meeting. It's the Pickle Lady store. I haven't told that in a while, which like that profoundly changed my life, hearing this woman's story, the Pickle Lady. And the other thing is, when I came to group one day, she wanted to talk about my marijuana use, and I said, "Oh, I'm not here for that." She said, "What are you here for?" I said, "Well, I'm here for the alcohol and the cocaine. I'm not here for the marijuana." She goes, "You're not?" And I said, "No, everybody smokes marijuana." I mean, I thought they did. I mean, I was literally smoking an 1/8 to a 1/2 ounce a day. I mean, I was smoking a lot, you guys. And I never usually talk about amounts or certain substances over here, but here we go. But whatever, I guess, you know, here we go. And she said, okay. And she said, so you're not willing to talk about the pot smoking? And I said, we called it pot back in the day. I said, no, I'm not here for that. But I'm here for the alcohol and the cocaine, but I'm not here for that. I wasn't here for really any of it, if you want to know the truth. She goes, okay. She goes, well, I'm going to need you to leave group until you're ready to talk about it. And I said, what? Because I knew I needed to be attending group to get out of treatment. See, and I said, no, I'm not willing. I'm not here for that. She goes, well, when you're ready to talk about it, come back to group. But until then, you can leave group. I was like, what? And then the very first day ever, I went to her office and I knocked on the door. And she's such a fantastic person. I love her so much. She's one of my dearest friends today. And I knocked on her door and I said, and she always says to me, she goes, it's always the ones that you don't think that are going to make it that do. And she said, I would never put any money on you making it. She goes, I wanted you to. I want every person that I ever meet to get it. She goes, but I thought you had no desire to stay clean and sober. She was like, you broke my heart. She was like, I just didn't think you'd be sober. And the fact that you're here, like, she says that to me when I talk to her, you know, and it means so much to her, or means so much to me. But anyway, I knocked on her door the first day, and I said, hey, can I talk to you for a second? And she goes, yeah, what? I said, Well, I said, listen, I said, I'm gay. And she goes, you are? And I said, yeah. And I said, but we don't need to talk about that. I said, we don't need to talk about me being gay, right? And I remember our groups were split up between like blue and red groups. And it was like all of these like men. And I was in with all the alcoholics, and like, even though I did other drugs, like they put us like, you know, mixed bag into that group. Like alcoholics and like mixed were in one group, and like all of like the people that just used like heroin and opioids were in the other group. I don't know why they split it up, but that's what they did. And so I was in this group with these guys. When I tell you that these guys, I didn't think that this is what this is going to turn into, but whatever. I was in there, you know, my sobriety birthday is December 17th of 1994, and so it was Christmas time. Well, back when I went through treatment that last time, that a lot of factories in Indiana, I don't know how true this was about throughout the United States, but I'm sure it's pretty true, but a lot of factories like Rolls-Royce, Allison, Chrysler, Nestle, and things like that in Indiana, they had this benefit as part of their insurance that for substance abuse treatment, you got 30 days treatment, like every year. Like they paid it out, right? So a lot of these guys that had semi-substance abuse problems but weren't real serious about their problems would check themselves into treatment like the 1st of December, and then that was their holiday break. Like seriously, I mean, I'm not lying. This is what a lot of guys did. So I was in groups, okay? I mean, I was 22 and a half. There was one other guy my age that was in treatment. He was in the other group, but we were kind of friends, like outside a group. I remember him in this like really bright colored Ralph Lauren coat on, I remember. And we used to talk outside when we would smoke cigarettes while it was snowing outside. You know, I've never seen him. Well, like one time I saw him, and then I never saw him after that again after we got sober. Sad. You meet a lot of people that you don't ever see again, you know? And I had everybody sign my book when I left treatment. Like that's kind of like a, you know, a rite of passage that you do. Everybody signs your book. And it's sad when I look through there because there's only 2 other people that are still sober today that I went through treatment with out of probably 60, you know, men and women. And maybe 90, you know, I don't know at that time. The units were full. And I'm in one program, and the other 2 guys are in 2 separate programs in Indianapolis. It's like we each made it into a separate program. And whenever I see them, it's like fantastic. It's like home, you know. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe, you know, almost 25 years and 11 months this month, you know. And it makes me sad. Like I've known so many people that have died, you know, through the years from this disease. But so anyway, I said that to her on my first day of treatment, and I always get real weird around my birthday. Like I start thinking back about those days. But so we went to group that first day, and there I am in there, you know, with like, and I was, listen, spoiled. I was spoiled, okay? Entitled, thought the world owed me something, okay? And privileged, you know, all of it. And here I am in this group with probably, in that group, I don't know, 30, I think, 20 or 30 of these guys that were all, you know, older than, I don't know, 45, 50. They were probably around that age. And I was the only young one in there. And when I mean to tell you that they took me in and made me one of their own, and like, my family didn't come to visit me during the holidays. They invited me to their tables for their families to eat with them when their families would bring them food and stuff like that. They were so kind to me. And that first day I'll never forget, because I said, my counselor sat down and she goes, I need to introduce a new member to group. This is Peter. And he's gay, but we're not going to talk about it. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to kill you. So anyway, and that was my introduction. And they didn't care. You know, they didn't care. They were like, whatever, you know. They were the nicest guys in the entire world. And you know what I realized was, you know, I heard this years later when there was the year that Schindler's List won for Best Picture, there was a documentary about the Holocaust that came out that year. And this woman that they gave, she was kind of like the focus in the movie. They allowed her to take the Oscar. And she said, for the last 50 years, I have asked myself, why me? I am no different. Meaning, why did she survive and other people didn't? And, you know, I thought about that, like when I look around that room, because one of the things I realized about that was that no matter what our substance was, no matter what the background of what our makeup was or how diverse we were, that we were all very similar when it came to our addictions. And I was no better and I was no worse. I just was, you know, and that was real powerful to me. I remember sitting there and asking our counselor how many people make it. And she said, the statistics at that time said 1 in 30. And I remember looking around the room and there was like 29 or 31 people, and there wasn't like an even number. And I said to myself inside my head, I'm going to be that 1 in 30. And, you know, I kind of wonder sometimes if that had something to do with it. I don't know, but I love my counselor dearly. She was fantastic. Oh, this is how this whole conversation started. So one year, it was like my 8th birthday or something like that. I was like walking around work one day, and at that time she had moved off the men's unit. Okay, you guys want to hear a funny story? So my best friend and I went through treatment at the same facility, and by the time that my best friend she's a year, 6 months less than I am. So we have 6 months. We're 6 months apart. And so by the time that she went to treatment, my counselor had moved to the women's unit. So my best friend and I had the same counselor. Is that not the coolest thing ever? So anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, so it was like 8 years I was sober or something like that. And I was walking through the halls of work and whatever. And all these people kept on coming up to me. And they were like, hey, happy birthday. Congratulations. I was like, thanks. And they're like, happy birthday. And I was like, how does everybody know that it's my birthday today? This, you know, December 17th. We call our real birthdays belly button birthdays. So this was my sobriety birthday. And I was like, how does everybody know? And so I went to my office and I was checking my email. And she had put out an email and said, hey, it's Peter's 8th birthday today. You need to, please everybody go up and congratulate him on his sobriety birthday. I marched my butt over to her office, okay? And I knocked on her door. I said, because I still, you know, real respectful. I was raised with the, like, you know, you say to your neighbor, hey, Mr. and Mrs. and all that stuff. And I still call them Mr. and Mrs. years later. So to my counselor, I knocked on the door. I was like, can I talk to you for a second? She was like, yes. And I said, I really wish you wouldn't have sent that email out. And I said, it's really embarrassing. People are coming up to me and saying something. And she looked at me and she goes, I'm going to tell you something for a second. She goes, you need to be so damn proud of that sobriety date, number one. Number two, she goes, you're a role model to other people that they can do it. And you need to let other people that work here in this facility that aren't sober see that there are living, breathing people out there that are sober, living lives and working in our facility. And you need to allow them to see that you came through this treatment program and you were a patient and you now work here and you're a counselor. And I was like, okay. You know, she's like, you need to be proud of your achievements. We do. We need to be proud of our achievements. We need to be the ones to sing them from the mountaintop. Not waiting for somebody else to do it. We don't have to be cocky about it. We don't have to be arrogant about it. But like Mel said that to me today, she said, I am really proud of myself. She should be. You know, we should all be proud of ourselves. We should all be proud of our achievements. And we should stop with the self-criticism. So anyway, all right, that's my meditation. I'm going to get off here now. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Thanksgiving if you live in the United States. If you don't, I hope you're having an amazing Thursday. And I love you guys. I'm going to let my husband eat his dinner now. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.